What's up, guys? I'm Zach and Nick here at the Step Back Foundation with Maddie, owner of the Step Back owner of the Step Back Foundation. We're here doing another small business spotlight. We have a couple questions, and we'll let Nick take it away.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, we're here in your storefront along New Jersey Avenue and 2nd Ave. So bring me through what got started with the Step Back. Like, what was your driving force behind starting it?
So I went to Wildwood High and I always played sports. Both my sisters, same thing. And we were always just part of teams. We were so fortunate, growing up, we never had to really worry about anything. And I started to, go to Wildwood High, and I saw just a lot of need for things in general. And the kids on my team weren't as fortunate as I was, and I was like, all right, I want to start something to kind of give back. And if a kid can't afford to be a part of something, I want to make sure that I'm able to kind of step in and provide if I could. So I started to have a couple fundraisers, a 3-on-3 tournament, and a 5K run. Those were my initial two, and since then I've added a couple different annual events to raise money. It was kind of just to give back and promote community involvement in sports. But since then it's kind of changed a bit.
And you just passed your biggest event of the year, right? It was the Mud Hen.
Our fall auction at Mud Hen.
Fall auction.
So
okay.
At that one, we raise money for the holidays. So we donate to over 10 different Cape May County schools, and then same thing, over 10 different families in the area that could use a little help. So that event in particular, we try to raise money for the holidays and make sure that we can give back during the time of year.
That's incredible.
So what's your next event that you guys have coming up?
So our next event isn't until Easter time, where we have a Easter egg hunt. So that's not until our next event, but we also are going to have a golf outing in May, and then that leads us right into our summer events. But this is the kind of time of year where I feel like this is where we kind of use the money that we've raised and try to get interactive with schools and get as involved as we can. And then, like I said, once April kind of hits, I feel like it's kind of go and a lot of fundraising. And then the winter times is kind of the time to just all right, where can we make the most impact and how can we help?
That's good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you were born and raised down here, right?
Yes,
okay.
I went to Margaret Mase and then Wildwood High.
Got it. So
then Stockton. So I literally have stayed very close.
So what's your favorite thing about living down here, growing up down here?
I would say the beach, obviously. Is very much of a beach guy. Yeah. I mean, I just think you got to take advantage of where we're at. I'm on the seawall every day. I go to make sure I go see the waves at least at some point, even though I'm not a surfer. But I love just the beach town that we're in. And then besides that, just how tight-knit the community is. But even besides Step Back, I always saw how cool the community was and how it's so special. People just really want to help out and they care about one another. And again, I've seen that for years, way before Step Back was ever created. I just know my personal experience is going Margaret Mase. I graduated with 32 kids. Wildwood, I graduated with 42. It's always been very tight-knit, and it's always been like that. People really care for one another, and whether it was at my basketball games where the stands were full, and again in a school that was really small, or whatever it was, this community is just so special, and I think that people really capitalize on that.
That's good. Mm-hmm. That's good. So our next question, where do you see Step Back Foundation growing? Do you guys have anything planned for 2025, 2026 in the future?
I feel like I'm so goal oriented, and from sports and just playing sports in my life, I feel like it's really helped me I guess kind of organize how I want Step Back to be. But I kind of just take it day by day and see where I can go. And I feel and as you guys know how much you have to market nowadays and use social media, you have to be really prevalent. I feel like I'm really trying to get better at that field, and I think I'm pretty consistent on on sharing things, but kind of making it a little bit more professional and using Canva, and I'm constantly updating our website because you want to target different groups of, I guess, different age groups and different demographics. So, the younger people love social media, and the older crowd kind of loves Facebook. But there's people who still really love going on your website and So I feel I really try. Recently, I've really tried to cover that, making sure, all right, if anybody were to look up, no matter what age or whoever they are, wherever they're from, you need to make sure that all your bases are covered. So kind of expanding that, but I guess long term, I have so many goals, but I also feel like it's like there's no limits onto what it can be, what anything can be, or whoever anybody wants to be. But I feel like because we're in a small town, it kind of makes it not limited. But I also want to make sure I always stick to like my roots, and like this is what has helped it grow so much, and this community has. So I always want to make sure that I try to focus heavily on this community. But we'll see. I mean, I'm ambitious. I love.
Never know what the future holds.
Yeah.
Cool. That's like what keeps it interesting.
Yeah.
And fun, for sure.
So this time of the year, you said it's a big time where you guys are giving back a lot. If people wanted to reach out to you or donate, or where's the best place to find you?
So our website is thestepbackfoundation.com, and that gives all the ways you can donate, whether you want to drop off something, a donation, or if you want to send, people like to send checks a lot. If they want to donate online, they can. There's a link on there. Even our Venmo's on there. There's so many different ways people can donate. But even if they just want to volunteer, which is so awesome, and obviously like you need people to do that, especially at our events. So there's constant ways that you can get involved. And even if it's not just an event for volunteers, like I have things going on here all the time. People have asked me about wrapping presents recently. So there's definitely a lot of ways that you can get connected, but our website tells you how you can kind of get interacted. And then again, like our social media, I'm not the best at answering on Facebook Messenger. I'm getting better at it. But our Instagram, I'm always on there checking our messages.
What's your Instagram?
The Step Back Foundation.
At the Step Back Foundation. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So that's where people can find you.